Hey guys, it's Game Essential here, and I'm gonna make a prediction video. Okay, so this week was week 1 of the 2017-2018 NFL regular season. First game was on Thursday. Patriots against the Chiefs, and honestly, I thought the Patriots were going to win. I did. But for them to get destroyed in the manner that they did, that's unacceptable. If I were the head coach, that's unacceptable, honestly. I mean, at home, where the only time they lost was once, I think it was against the Giants, but I'm not too sure. How do you lose like that at home, especially if you're the Patriots? Honestly. The next game was on Sunday. I mean, the score on the Thursday night game was... I'll get back to you guys. Because I honestly forgot what the score was. All I know is that the Chiefs beat the Patriots by like two scores. The next games were on Sunday morning. The Ravens Bengals game. I predicted the Bengals to win that game at home against the Ravens, who aren't, in my opinion, aren't really that good of a team anymore. But apparently I was wrong. Apparently they got destroyed by the Ravens in Cincinnati. I mean, I don't know how you get destroyed by the Ravens when you're, especially when you're at home. I just don't understand. The next game was Steelers versus Browns. The Browns almost won that game. And to be honest with you, the Browns are doing pretty good. They're doing better than they usually do. That's just the first game of the season. But yeah, the Browns almost won that game. The final score was 21-18. And for the Browns, I have a feeling that their franchise is going to change. Whether it being with the help of Deshaun Kaiser, or if they draft Lamar Jackson in next year's draft. Me, honestly, I think that they should have drafted Deshaun Watson this year. I think they should have drafted Myles Garrett with the first overall pick, and try to move up in the draft to get Deshaun Watson, so you would be able to get like 2 explosive players that would probably help you out. It would probably help your team out in changing the culture of the franchise from losing to actually winning games. Texans at Jaguars, the next game. Jaguars at Texans. I went for the Texans, and because I thought that Deshaun Watson was gonna play more, but apparently Tom Savage started, and that's exactly what happens when you allow someone like that to start. But they got destroyed by Jacksonville. Honestly, they got absolutely demolished. And Blake Bortles isn't even that good. I thought he was, but he's not. He's honestly not. He's pretty average. But the Jaguars won that game in a blowout. Colts versus Rams. No Andrew Luck. Spells trouble. There were a couple of blowout games this week. The Rams just absolutely obliterated the Colts. And Jared Goff could very well be the face of the franchise for the Rams in terms of quarterbacks. Because, I mean, Jared Goff, he was drafted with the first overall pick last year, and people, the Rams didn't really give him a chance until late in the season, and people didn't like, they criticized Jared Goff, and I just didn't like that because you can't expect rookies to be good, and you can't expect people like NFL players or players in general, whatever sport it is, to be excellent in their rookie year. I mean, just look at Tom Brady and them. They weren't good in their regular season, not regular season, but in their rookie year. But look how that turned out. I'm not saying that Jared Goff is gonna be the next Tom Brady, because no one can replace Tom Brady, because he's the GOAT. But I'm still mad at Tom Brady because I feel like I wanted him to retire after Super Bowl 51, because I wanted other teams besides the Patriots to win Super Bowls. Yeah, I really wanted Tom Brady to retire after Super Bowl 51, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. I feel like it would have been better for him to retire too, because now he might just end up regretting it by getting injured. That's why I think that the Patriots aren't going to be able to win the Super Bowl this year, because I have a feeling that the Madden curse is real. And because of that, I mean, just look at past few years. Odell Beckham Jr. First Madden, who was on the cover of Madden NFL 16, and he didn't get injured, but his team didn't make the playoffs either. And the next game, Madden NFL 17, Rob Gronkowski was on the cover of that game, and he got injured. So it could happen to Tom Brady. It's a possibility, because he's 40. Yeah, he's 40. So usually when you're in your 40, and when you're in your 40s, you tend to get injured pretty much every time. Kind of like Tony Romo. The next game, Colts versus Raiders versus Titans. I went for the Raiders that game, and I'm glad I went with the Raiders because they did win. They did win yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but 2 days ago. They didn't even play yesterday. What am I talking about? But it was a close game. The Titans only lost by 10 points in the end. And for the Raiders, I mean, if Derek Carr can stay healthy, they can very well be a championship contender. But that's if Derek Carr stays healthy. Because they need him for the playoffs. They do, honestly. You saw what happened last year without Derek Carr. I mean, had they had Derek Carr, they probably would have at least gotten to the conference championship. But since he was injured, they lost in the first round, the wild card round, to the Texans. And same goes for the Titans. If Marcus Mariota can stay healthy for the playoffs, then they could be a very dangerous team in the playoffs. I mean, their defense, in my opinion, is mediocre, but I think it's good enough. But I think it'll do that. I think it's good enough. I think the defense is good enough to win championships with, especially behind that offense. Then the Jets versus Bills game. It's a pretty good game. Anytime the Bills and the Jets play. And the Bills, I don't know if I don't remember if they destroyed the Jets this weekend, but I do remember that. But I do know that the Bills did win that game. I'm not surprised, considering the Jets are trash. I mean, but then again, so are the Bills, kind of. But at least they're better than the Jets. Like I said, sucks for Jets fans, because I have a feeling that they're going to be the next Browns. I mean, for the past few years, the Browns were the worst team in the NFL, but I think that's gonna change this year, honestly. So the Browns fans just don't really have anything to worry about this year, because at least they're not gonna be the Jets. We're as bad as the Jets. The same team that got rid of two explosive players, Sheldon Richardson and Eric Decker. So now you have 0 wide receivers, pretty much. You have 0 superstar wide receivers now. On the top of that, you have no tight end. at all. Plus, your running game is pretty mediocre too. And the defense is, I mean, it's good, but of course they're not going to be able to win games if the offense is going to play as horrible as they are. I mean, and the difference between them and the Browns is at least the Browns have a quarterback in Deshaun Kaiser, and, well, two of them actually, in Deshaun Kaiser and Cody Kessler. Who do the Jets have besides Christian Hackenberg? Josh McCown. How do you expect to win games with Josh McCown, honestly? I mean, the Browns, they learned that the hard way. They did. But yeah, the Josh McCown is garbage. He is. Whatever team he's on, they can't expect that. Nobody can expect that team to win with Josh McCown on it. I'm surprised he even still has a job in the NFL. Honestly. Enough of me roasting the Jets, though. The next team for the AFC East. The Dolphins and the Buccaneers had bye this week. Week 1. So, of course, they didn't play. Damn, that landed pretty far. Catapulted. Patriots play the Chiefs in week 1. The Broncos played the Chargers yesterday. I was honestly going for the Chargers. I was pretty upset because the Chargers were losing, but we almost came back from... The Chargers almost came back from 17 points in a time span of in a span of about a quarter. That's crazy. But for the Broncos fans could sleep well after yesterday, because they survived after the Broncos blocked that field goal at the end of the game. And like I said, if I were a head coach and something like that happened, where somebody wasn't doing their job and didn't block the defender that was able to get the block, I would be pissed, honestly. I would, because that's unacceptable. You can't expect to win games if that's the way you're gonna play. Honestly. I mean, besides injuries, why do you think that the Chargers didn't make it to the playoffs last year? Because they had the same result. Not really the same result, but they weren't able to come through in the clutch. And that's not always on the offense or the defense. Sometimes, like yesterday, it's on the special teams. But that being said, I still think that the Chargers could very well win the AFC West. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Raiders and all, but I don't think that they're gonna get to the Super Bowl this year. Next year, my money's on them for next year to get to the Super Bowl and win. But that's next year. So the Falcons played the Bears this weekend. They almost lost. I mean, the Falcons. I mean, it was a close game, but I don't know how you can lose to a team like the Bears. But again, at least they're not. At least they're not as bad as the Jets. At least they actually have a quarterback. Two of them, actually, in Mike Lennon and Mitch Trubisky. The Falcons won by 10 points in the end by the end of that game, and I was going for the Falcons that game, and they almost lost, like I said, but almost only counts in. But like my dad says, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. But to me, it almost doesn't even count in horseshoes, just hand grenades, because you just need to get a hand grenade close to blow somebody up. And for the Broncos, I mean, let me go back to the Broncos. I'm going to go back to the AFC West. The Broncos, before yesterday, I didn't think that they were going to be able to get to the playoffs this year. But now my playoff prediction for this season is for the AFC first, I'm going to say winning the conference. I think the Chargers are going to win the conference. Well, that is if Tom Brady gets injured. And I think, depending on whether Tom Brady gets injured or not this year, if he does, then I think that the Patriots are going to, still win the AFC East, because, I don't mean to offend the Dolphins fans out there, but your team isn't good enough to beat the Patriots. Not yet, at least. Do I think that you'll have a chance to beat them in the future? Well, maybe give them a run for their money by making games that you play against them close, but beating them, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, honestly. But yeah, my playoff predictions, for the AFC, winning the number one in the conference, number one of the AFC, I had the Chargers. Number 2, I had the Patriots. At number 3, winning the AFC North, I had the Steelers. Number 4, I had the Texans. I was contemplating on whether I should pick the Jaguars or the Texans, because like I said, I thought that Blake Bortles was pretty good, but apparently he's not, which disappoints me, because I was really hoping that Blake Bortles would prove all his haters wrong, but he's just proving them right. That's why I have the Titans winning the division, though. Especially if Tom Savage is gonna keep starting for the Texans. And for for number 5, for the wild card teams, at number 5 I have the Raiders, and at number 6 I had the Ravens, but that was before yesterday. That was before I saw what the Broncos were able to do yesterday. They looked like the Seahawks defense yesterday. I mean, that place looked like the Seahawks stadium, CenturyLink Field. I've never seen the Broncos stadium be that loud. I mean, they could pop. I mean, I think that they could be louder this season than the Chiefs Stadium and the Seahawks Stadium put together. That's why I have them. And that's why I'm switching, and that's why I'm changing one of my wildcard teams for the AFC prediction to be instead of being the Ravens to be the Broncos. The AFC West is gonna be pretty tough this year. Honestly, it is. Next game. The Cardinals played the Lions this week, and the Lions won. Well, they were losing by 10 at first. Was it 10 or was it 14? I think it was 10, but they were losing by like two scores, but came back. And I have a feeling that, because for the past few weeks, not weeks, but years, teams that we didn't think were gonna make it to the Super Bowl, like the Panthers and the Falcons and the Seahawks in 2014, they made it to the Super Bowl, and that's exactly why I think that the Lions will make it to the Super Bowl this year. That's exactly why I think that the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. Especially if Matthew Stafford can stay healthy. And if the defense would step up like they did in week 1. The Packers played my Seahawks yesterday. I'm still kind of upset about that, but then again, I wasn't really expecting the Seahawks to win that game in Lambeau Field. But of course I have to go. Of course I have to root for the Seahawks because they're my favorite team. But overall, I think we did pretty well against them. I'm just happy that we didn't get destroyed by the Packers like we did last year. Still kind of upset about that. And the Vikings play the Saints they played them yesterday. I was going for the Vikings. I mean, at first, but in the game, I was going for the Saints because I like to see I want to see good comebacks. I like to see close games, not blowout games. But the Vikings won that game. The Panthers play the 49ers Sunday. And of course they won because, the 49ers are garbage. And they don't have a quarterback just like the Jets. And I was going for the Panthers in that game too. And they did win, like I said. Obviously, because how does a team like the Panthers lose against a team like the 49ers that has no offense whatsoever, even with Kyle Shanahan? Which is the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. The Cowboys played the Giants this Sun they played them Sunday, and thankfully they won because the Cowboys, they got destroyed by the Giants twice last year. I mean, they didn't get obliterated, but they got beat by the Giants twice last year. But yeah, the Cowboys, they got, like I said, they got beat by the Giants twice last year. Both of them were close. Both of the games were close. And one of those games, the Giants got lucky because Dak Prescott, because the Cowboys ran out of time. But yeah, I'm just glad we won at least one of the games between the Giants this year. The Eagles play the Eagles play the Redskins in Philadelphia. And I was going for the Eagles in that one, but I'm pretty sure they won. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did win. But the Eagles, I mean, they're a young team, but I think that they could, soon, I don't know when, but real soon, go to the Super Bowl, go back to the Super Bowl, and maybe even win. I mean, of course, they have to develop a little bit more, but besides that, they're very well. They could very well be a championship contending team in the near future. And as for the Redskins, I really hope that Kirk Cousins stays with Washington because I feel like he's the I feel like he's the face of the Redskins franchise in terms of quarterbacks. But yeah, I mean the Redskins. They don't have Deshaun Jackson anymore because they lost him to free agency this year, and he's on the Buccaneers now, along with Mike Evans. Well, Mike Evans didn't get released. I mean, he wasn't on the Buccaneers. I mean, he was on the Buccaneers, but he wasn't. What I'm trying to say is he wasn't on the Redskins. May have confused you guys a little bit, but and I'm sorry for that, but yeah, Mike Evans wasn't on the Redskins before. He's always been on the Buccaneers. And he probably will always be with the Buccaneers, just like Odell Beckham Jr. will be with the Giants, and Dez Bryant will be with the Cowboys, and AJ Green will be with the Bengals, and Julio Jones will be with the Falcons, and Antonio Brown will be with the Steelers, and DeAndre Hopkins will be with the Texans for the rest of their career, probably. And yeah, there weren't any other games that week. I mean, but this Thursday night there's going to be a game, obviously, because there's always a game on Thursday night, pretty much in the season, except for week 17 and the off season, obviously, because nobody plays in the off season. I mean, unless you count the preseason, which I don't. But yeah, the Texans play. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they play the Bengals this Thursday, and I'm going for the. Well, no, I'm not going for the Texans. I'm going for the Bengals because, well, I like the Bengals. AJ Green's my favorite wide receiver in the NFL. Just making sure the camera's still recording, because usually my camera exits out, it exits out for some reason. But anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn notifications on to know when my next videos come out. But yeah, bye guys.